Remember, some of the best times of your life haven't even happened yet. If you're over 60, you've already collected a lifetime of stories, triumphs that lifted you, trials that tested you, and quiet moments that shaped your soul. But what if the most fulfilling chapters are still ahead? In this extended reflection, we'll explore 6 timeless pillars of wisdom drawn from decades of experience to help you embrace serenity, build lasting legacy, and live with renewed purpose. Stick around. These insights aren't just words. They're the keys to unlocking the richness of your golden years. Let's begin. Wisdom in relationships and trust. As we journey past 61 of the greatest gifts of age is the clarity we've gained about the people in our lives. We've witnessed friendships bloom and wither, loves that endured and those that faded, teaching us that no one is too busy. It's always a matter of priorities. If someone consistently places you low on their list, it's a sign to reassess, because time reveals what you truly mean to others. Consider the simple yet profound truth. Be careful who you trust for salt and sugar. Look the same at first glance. One adds flavor to life. The other leaves a bitter aftertaste. In my own experience, I once confided in a longtime colleague about a personal struggle during a challenging career transition in my late 50s, only to hear it echoed back through office gossip. It was a harsh lesson in discernment, reminding me that even our own shadows abandon us in darkness, so we mustn't depend too much on anyone else for our light. This wisdom urges us to guard our inner world more fiercely now in these reflective years. If it keeps you happy, keep it quiet. There's power in privacy, especially when oversharing can invite unnecessary judgment or envy. Stop telling people everything. Most don't genuinely care, and some might secretly hope you stumble. Instead, embrace solitude as a sanctuary for self-discovery, not isolation. Think of it like tending a garden in retirement. You don't invite every passerby to trample the soil. You nurture it selectively for your own peace. For those of us over 60, this means curating a small circle, a private life, and a peaceful mind-quality connections, over quantity, focusing on the many who love you, rather than dwelling on those who don't. Letting go is another cornerstone here. If you don't release the wrong people, you'll never make space for the right ones. If people treat you like an option, leave them like a choice. I've seen this play out in family dynamics, where holding on to toxic relatives out of obligation drained my energy for years until I chose boundaries that allowed healthier bonds to flourish. And remember, your worst enemy might just be someone you trust the most. Beware of wolves in sheep's clothing, those who smile while undermining your worth. There will always be someone who doesn't see your value, but don't let it be you. In our golden years, this approach fosters serenity. Value the memories and experiences that true relationships bring, for they are the real treasures over material possessions. By prioritizing trust earned through actions, not words, and silencing reactions to those who undervalue us, cut them off quietly. We protect our hard-won tranquility and open doors to deeper, more fulfilling connections that honor the wisdom we've accumulated. Personal discipline and habits. Entering our 60s and beyond, we've come to appreciate that discipline isn't a burden. It's the steady hand guiding us from fleeting comforts to enduring freedom, much like choosing a nourishing meal over a quick snack for long-term vitality. It's about selecting what you want most over what tempts you now, because excuses might ease today, but harden tomorrow, while discipline toughens today for an easier path ahead. Reflect on this. Bad habits are like a comfortable bed, easy to slip into during our busier years, but increasingly difficult to escape as age adds its weight, whether it's skipping exercise or indulging in unhealthy routines that compound over time. In my case, I spent much of my 50s in a cycle of workaholic patterns, thinking it was productivity, until a health scare in my early 60s forced me to rebuild with small, consistent changes, like setting boundaries for rest, that transformed my daily energy and outlook. This phase of life calls us to work on ourselves as diligently as we once did our careers, for working at a job makes a living, but investing in personal growth builds a fortune of well-being and wisdom. You're not paid merely for the hour, but for the profound value you bring to it. Think of how retirees often find renewed purpose in volunteering or mentoring, turning accumulated skills into meaningful impact. Train your mind, your strongest muscle and potential worst enemy, by guarding thoughts when alone and words when accompanied. Let self-improvement occupy you so fully that criticizing others becomes irrelevant. I've learned this through journaling and quiet evenings, which help me shift from reactive habits. Don't react. Cut off negativity silently to proactive ones, fostering mental resilience that wards off the weakness that comes from too much comfort. Moreover, remember that the moment you abandon discipline is the moment you give up on yourself. But here's the encouraging flip side. Done is better than perfect. In our golden years, this means embracing imperfect progress, like starting a new hobby or fitness routine without waiting for ideal conditions. If you're not falling down occasionally, you're likely just coasting, safe but stagnant. So allow yourself the grace to stumble and rise, knowing first it hurts, then it strengthens. By failing to prepare, we prepare to fail. But with age's perspective, we can pivot, view discipline as a lifelong ally that ensures our habits support the legacy we wish to leave, turning potential regrets into stories of triumph and quiet strength. Resilience and overcoming adversity. By the time we reach our 60s, we've weathered enough storms to know that life isn't about avoiding falls. It's about rising stronger each time, because we fall, we break, we fail, but then we rise, we heal, we overcome. Resilience is the quiet force that turns pain into power. Recognizing there are two types of pain, one that merely hurts and another that changes you for the better. In these later years, it's essential to stay calm, remembering you've been through this before, and you'll get through it again, whether it's the loss of a loved one, a career setback, or health challenges that test your spirit. I recall a period in my mid-60s when a sudden family crisis left me feeling shattered. Everything seemed to fall apart, just as I was planning a peaceful retirement. But looking back, it was the catalyst for deeper growth, showing me that before something great happens, chaos often precedes it, and one day you'll see why the wait was necessary. This wisdom teaches us not to let yesterday take up too much of today. Don't ruin a good present by dwelling on a bad past. Let it go, for your past is a place to learn and grow, not a permanent residence. Mistakes aren't stumbling blocks, but stepping stones. Learn from them and move forward, as the only real mistake is the one from which we learn nothing. Hardship often prepares an ordinary person for an extraordinary destiny, much like how positive thinking enables us to do everything better than negativity ever could. For those of us over 60, this means viewing adversity as a forge for character. If you get tired, learn to rest, not to quit, and don't give up, because you are closer than you think. I've applied this by taking short breaks during overwhelming times, like a weekend retreat, to recharge, which renewed my energy and perspective, turning potential defeat into a story of perseverance. Furthermore, success emerges after surviving all your mistakes, and winners focus on winning while losers fixate on winners. Someone else's progress doesn't diminish yours, so avoid comparisons that steal your joy. Fear is temporary, but regret is forever, and worrying about losing is losing before you begin. Instead, sacrifice a few years of comfort for decades of freedom, embracing patience, because all things are difficult before they become easy. In our golden years, resilience also involves learning to heal without venting to everyone. Sometimes being alone is the best medicine for your soul, and knowing your future needs you while your past doesn't. Don't get burned twice by the same flame. Use these experiences to build an unshakable foundation where, before great achievements, the breakdowns pave the way for breakthroughs, inspiring a legacy of strength that echoes through the lives we touch. Mindset and positive thinking. As we accumulate years beyond 60, our mindset becomes the lens through which we view the world, a powerful tool that can either cloud our days with doubt or illuminate them with possibility. For your strongest muscle and worst enemy is your mind. Train it well to harness its full potential. Positive thinking isn't mere optimism. It's a deliberate practice that lets you do everything better than negative thinking ever will, clearing the blurry visions of life that sharpen with time and patience. In these reflective stages, it's crucial to control your mind or someone else's will, whether through societal pressures or self-sabotaging thoughts, and to guard well your thoughts when alone and your words when accompanied, fostering a mental fortress against unnecessary turmoil. I remember in my late 60s, during a phase of uncertainty after retiring, how negative self-talk amplified small worries into overwhelming fears. Shifting to gratitude journaling turned that around, reminding me that if someone tells you you can't, they're revealing their limits, not yours. This mindset also involves releasing what no longer serves us. If you live for people's acceptance, you'll die from their rejection. So be who you want to be, knowing you're judged no matter what. Sometimes we create our own heartbreaks through unrealistic expectations. Just let it be. And if it's meant to happen, it will trusting the process without rush. For those of us over 60, this means embracing that you'll grow mentally weak when life is too comfortable. Challenge yourself with new learning, like picking up a skill or hobby to keep the mind sharp and resilient. I've found solace in this by exploring online courses on history, which not only stimulated my thinking, but also reinforced that fear is temporary, while regret lingers forever, pushing me to take calculated risks, such as traveling solo, that enrich my spirit. Moreover, stay calm in the face of challenges, for you've navigated similar waters before and emerged stronger. First it hurts, then it makes you wiser. Talking without thinking is like shooting without aiming. So choose silence as the best response to those who don't value your words, preserving your energy for what truly matters. In our golden years, cultivate a mindset where striving for success without hard work is as fruitless as harvesting unplanted fields. But with positive reframing, even setbacks become opportunities. This approach not only boosts daily fulfillment, but also influences our legacy, inspiring others through our example of mental fortitude and the quiet power of an optimistic, well-trained mind that turns ordinary days into extraordinary ones. Health, self-care, and time management. Crossing into our 60s and older, we realize that health isn't just a footnote in life's story. It's the foundation that allows us to savor every chapter, reminding us to take care of our bodies because health is another form of wealth, one that compounds with wise choices over time. Self-care isn't selfish. It's essential for a balanced and fulfilling life, especially now when our energy reserves aren't as boundless as in youth. This means being selfish with your time. A lot of people don't deserve it, so prioritize what rejuvenates you. Understanding that no one is too busy, it's only a matter of setting the right priorities to avoid burnout. In my own journey, I hit a wall in my early 70s from years of neglecting rest for family obligations, leading to fatigue that dimmed my days. Learning to say no and scheduling me time like gentle morning stretches or reading restored my vitality and taught me that the value of time becomes evident only when it's gone. Use it wisely before regrets pile up. Effective time management ties directly to this, as you don't get paid for the hour alone, but for the value you bring to it, whether in post-retirement pursuits, hobbies, or relationships. Value experiences over possessions for memories are the real treasures of life that endure long after material things fade. Think of a simple family gathering or a solo nature walk that creates lasting joy without cost. Rowing harder doesn't help if the boat is headed in the wrong direction, so align your efforts with meaningful goals like regular health checkups or nutritious meals to ensure your path leads to well-being. I've applied this by reorganizing my weekly routine to include balanced activities, exercise balanced with relaxation, which prevented the overwhelm of unstructured days and highlighted how excuses make today easier, but tomorrow harder, while discipline reverses that equation. In these golden years, embrace healing without venting. To everyone, learn to process internally or with trusted few, and let silence be your response to those who undervalue your words, preserving your peace. Don't share your personal life indiscriminately. Do not let anyone hold anything that could harm you, as privacy protects your mental and emotional health. Playing it safe might feel secure, but it's often the most dangerous choice, leading to stagnation. Instead, incorporate variety, like trying adaptive yoga for joint health or exploring new diets mindfully. Your vision may blur with age, but it clears with consistent care. Never be embarrassed to struggle, for there's no shame in working hard toward better health. By integrating self-care into daily rhythms, we not only extend our physical capabilities, but also nurture a profound sense of fulfillment, ensuring our time is spent building a legacy of vitality that inspires those around us. Embracing growth, legacy, and the future. As we settle into the wisdom of our 60s and beyond, growth isn't something we outgrow. It's the ongoing adventure that keeps our spirits alive, reminding us that 5 years ago, you might have dreamed of being exactly where you are now. Think about it and let that gratitude fuel your next steps. Embracing growth means doing what no one else can do to become what no one else can become. Forging paths where none exist rather than following the worn trails. Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail for others. In these years, it's about trusting the slow process, for great things take time, and what comes easy won't last, while what lasts won't come easy. Don't rush it, as quitting only prolongs the journey. I look back at my own pivot in my late 60s when I left a stable but unfulfilling job to start a community garden project. It was daunting with initial failures like poor harvests, but persistence turned it into a thriving space that now connects neighbors, showing me that the fact you aren't where you want to be yet is motivation enough to keep going. Legacy in this context is the imprint we leave through intentional living. Strive for success with hard work, avoiding the trap of harvesting where you haven't planted, and recognize that life's most significant achievements often emerge from adversity's depths. If you don't let go of the wrong people or habits, you'll miss the right ones. Value your worth fiercely. Don't let it be you who overlooks it, and be real in all you do, as it saves everyone's time. For those over 60, this means reflecting on the two most important days: the day you were born and the day you find out why, using your past not as a dwelling, but as a classroom for growth. I've discovered my why through mentoring younger family members, sharing stories of my own stumbles to guide them, which has built a legacy far richer than any possession. Positive growth also involves learning from every experience. By failing to prepare you, prepare to fail, but surviving those missteps leads to success. Winners focus on their own race, and one day you'll understand why certain waits were divine timing. Looking to the future, have patience. All things are difficult before they become easy, and don't let temporary fears overshadow the regret of inaction. Your future needs you vibrant and engaged, while your past serves only as a reference. Small circle, private life, peaceful mind. These become the anchors for sustained growth, where sharing accomplishments thoughtfully avoids oversharing pitfalls, and embracing solitude fuels self-discovery. In my experience, committing to a yearly goal, like writing a memoir snippet by snippet, has not only fostered personal evolution, but also created a tangible legacy for my grandchildren. Ultimately, this pillar encourages us to persist, knowing we're closer than we think, and to view growth as the bridge to a future where extraordinary destinies await hardships, having prepared us positive thinking, propelling us in our unique trails, inspiring generations to come. As we close this section, carry forward the truth that great things indeed take time, but with embrace of growth, your golden years can be your most impactful yet. As we wrap up this journey through the pillars of wisdom for our golden years, let's pause to reflect on how far we've come, not just in age, but in the depth of understanding that only time can bestow. You've navigated relationships with discernment, built discipline that sustains, risen resilient from life's trials, cultivated a mindset of positivity, prioritize health as true wealth, and embrace growth that forges a lasting legacy. Remember, the two most important days in your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why. And for many of us over 60, that why is unfolding right now in the quiet power of living intentionally. Carry these insights forward like trusted companions. Let them guide your choices, inspire your days, and remind you that great things take time. But with patience and purpose, your best moments are still ahead. You've earned this wisdom. Now live it fully, share it selectively, and watch how it ripples into the lives of those around you. Thank you for joining this reflection. May your golden years shine brighter than ever.